on the 7th week while they were working on my house. And I've enjoyed sitting and listening to the squirrels and the birds, and the dog, he even got away from me one time, and I've enjoyed all of it. And me and him comes out on the porch. I sat on the deck, and it's beautiful out here. I enjoy it. And the reason I'm starting this second tape, I want to tell the reason why that my daddy and mother lived close together. My daddy was born 30 miles away from my mother, and them days 30 miles was like 10,000 to travel now. And he was born at Hickman Crossroads in Brunswick County, and my mother was born at Bethel in Columbus County. And they were 8 and 9 and 10 years old, and there come an earthquake, but they called it the shock. And my granddaddy Todd, he thought that if the land sank, that it would sink closer to the ocean than it would out in Columbus County. So he moved to Columbus County, to a place named Molly, which was about 3 miles from where my mother was born. And they got together and married. They had 2 children, me and Martha Eva. And later I married Horace Norris and had 3 children, Mildred, Joyce, and Tommy. And Joyce died at 47. So I just have Tommy and Mildred. And Mildred married Wilson Long, and Tommy married Magdalene Smith. And Joyce, she married Rob Ward, and they had 1 son. Mildred had 2 sons, and Tom had a daughter. And from that, my family was that, how many I had in my family. Joyce died later, and Tim, he's drained off, so I won't have much to say about Tim. He don't come, and I don't see him. But my Kenneth lives in Monroe, and he comes pretty often, takes me out to eat sometimes, and I've come and stayed with him going on 7 weeks. But Michael, I don't see him very often, but when he comes, he always takes me out. And the family, we get together, all of us. And I feel like I got a wonderful family and grandchildren. My grandchildren seems like my own children. My in-laws does. I got some of the wonderfulest grandchildren in-laws in the world. Teresa, she has been wonderful. I mean, nobody in the world couldn't have been better. I tell her she's the sweetest person I ever seen. And when Betty's around, she's sweet too. She's just as good and nice as me as she can be. Of course, I'm not with Betty very much. And Barry, he lives across the road from me, and he's close to me, and him and Lisa, they take me out every Sunday night and ride and buy supper for me, and I enjoy him and enjoy being with them. And all together, I have got 8 great-grandchildren, and I think they are wonderful children. They are real nice, every one of them. Of course, Zach and Christopher, that's Mike and Lisa, is sort of rowdy. They are real rowdy. They're 2 of the rowdiest of the bunch, and they're 2 of the smallest of the bunch. So maybe it's over the time they get up in their teens and 20s, they'll calm down. So they are sweet children. I love them to death. And I make Africans for them, and placemats and things like that, things I can do for them. And my great-grandchildren, they call me up and thank me and so sweet to me and write me the sweetest notes and letters. They have always acted like they were my real grandchildren. So I feel like that I have got a wonderful bunch of grandchildren. My grandchildren's all living good, they get along good, better than I ever thought they would, but they are, and all of them's got good homes, and I'm so thankful for them. I pray for them every night and every morning, each and every one. I call their names and pray for them. And they all seem to be Christians and good. I don't know too much about Tim. Like I say, I let him I won't talk about him too much because I don't know what to say. While I was with Teresa and Kenneth, their little dog Max, me and him would come out here on the deck, and one evening Kenneth had moved the chair they had in front of the door so that he couldn't get out, and he run down the steps and wouldn't come back. He run one way and then the other, and I had to get out. I thought it was a cement wall, and when I got there, it was a cement ditch. I had to go down and out on the other side and go to a neighbor's and call Teresa to come and get Matt. Well, I went home for overnight, and the next morning, Zach was in the house with me by himself, and he did exactly like Matt.
Oh, Zach!
Down the steps he went and run away from me, and I had a time with him. And I couldn't get to Lisa to let her know he'd gone out just like I was. I tried to call the 911. I tried to call the police, and I couldn't turn the telephone on. I hadn't turned it on, and I couldn't get Kenneth and Teresa without getting somebody else to call. And I had a time, and I did when Zach run down the steps. I was afraid he'd go to the ponds and get drowned, but he went to his mother and she got him. But that worried me. That really did worry me. But we made our living on the farm, all of us. Mildred raised her children on the farm, and Tom did too, but Tom and Mildred both went to public work later. But I raised my children on the farm, and I'm still living on the farm where I was born, and I stayed away from it the longest I ever have in my life since I've been here at Kenneth, and I'm 82 years old. And I'm making this tape for my children so they can listen at me when I am gone and remember what I did and how I come to be here. And I feel like the Lord has blessed me with a wonderful family. I've got no regrets of my life. And my husband, Horace, has been dead 8 years last Tuesday, and I live by myself. But now, Tom and Magdalene's going to stay with me most of the time at night. And so Lisa, she lives across the road from me, so I will have someone near around practically all the time. I have a woman that stays with me 3 hours and a half a day. And I'm aiming to come back to Kenneth later on, but I'm not aiming to stay with him 7 weeks at the time. That's a little too long. And I know when I go back home that I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him so much. And Teresa, she's real good. Like I say, she carried me to have my hair fixed today. And she's carried me 3 times. And they take me out to eat and carry me to places like I don't know nothing about. And I eat food I'm not used to eating, but it's all good. And I enjoy it.
Tell them about today. You ate veal parmesan for the first time.
I eat veal and parmesan. Is that right?
Veal parmesan.
Veal parmesan for the first time I ever eat it, and it's the first time I ever eat in an Italian restaurant.
And a few weeks ago, you ate at a Mexican restaurant, and you ate tacos.
Tacos, first time I ever eat tacos. I ate it a few weeks ago when they took me out for supper. So I've been to 3 different restaurants, and Teresa says there's one more here in town. I don't know what it is, but she says there's one more.
A Greek restaurant.
Greek.
Yeah.
Greek restaurant. And I enjoy hearing the birds and the squirrels. I see them. I can't see too good, but I do see them some. And the youngest is always quarreling with me about chewing my tobacco, but I still chew it. And it's good as it ever was. And I love my tobacco. And I go to church when I feel like I can make it. I go. Lisa carries me part of the time a neighbor woman, Miss Patty's Beck carries me. And I got a lot of friends, and they all say I talk on the telephone all the time when I'm at home. And I enjoy the television. I listen to the news. I don't care too much about stories because I don't know them.
Grandmother, tell them about what happened just about a week and a half ago, wasn't it? When Hurricane Fran hit. We didn't see it, but we know what kind of damage it did, don't we?
Yeah, Bertha come since I've been up. No, she didn't.
No, yeah, Bertha was before.
Yeah, but Fran come while I was here, and me and Teresa and her mother was here by ourselves, but it didn't hit here, but it really hit at home. See, it tore up the front porch and tore up a lot of trees, and they couldn't travel. There were so many trees down, and on the beaches, there were some of the beaches destroyed. Some of the North Carolina beaches were destroyed, and this is a week later today, ain't it?
Yes, I believe that's right. Yes.
Or is it two?
I believe it was.
We went home last weekend. It was the weekend before that.
No, we went home 2 weekends ago.
And it come
so it was last week.
Last weekend. And they still ain't got lights in some places. We still ain't got power to have lights.
And tell about Lisa, how that the river there at Crusoe was flooded.
The river at Crusoe? No, it wasn't Crusoe. It was...
Lisa told me it was from there at Crusoe.
She did?
Yes.
Well, I thought it was there Faraway. She was going to a church down there. I thought that's but she had to get up at 2 o'clock yesterday morning and drive there, and she was going on 701. I bet it was Crusoe.
Yes, she told me Crusoe.
I bet it was on 701. No, 130. 130. She had to go 130 for about 20 or 30 miles. In Crusoe, she was going to a church to look after people that was in there. The rivers had flooded. She said on Sunday they come 8 inches of rain at our house, and on Tuesday night they come 8 inches.
And that was this week.
That was this week.
Yes.
The week after the storm. And the people down there had got the rivers had flooded so they had to come out of Crusoe. And this is 1996, September.
The 13th.
The 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Bad lucky day. But what is that now? I've had just as good luck on Friday the 13th as any time.
Yes.
So
we're not superstitious, are we?
Yeah, we could have a good day. We have so far. Me and Teresa's had a good day. We've been out to eat, fix our hair, so we look good. And Lisa and Barry said they'd be in their new house by the end of the week, from the end of the month. And Lisa said they would put the rugs down in my house Monday, but she believed they'd come get me Sunday. I don't know where they'll keep them because Barry has to sleep in the daytime. So I don't know. I reckon I'll stay at Little River in the convenience by myself. I don't know, correct. But my grandchildren, when they were little, my mother was in her 90s. And they were always there playing. The oldest one was 10 years older than the youngest of my great-grandchildren. And they were always there playing, and she was partially invalid. She could walk with her walker to the stove, and she would scramble eggs and fill them up on eggs and light bread. And I thought they worried her to death. But since I've got old and sitting by myself, I realized there was a lot of satisfaction to her. And Kenny says that she meant more to him than he could tell. And she often told me that Kenny would make a fine man. And I know it's out of reason, but I wish she could have lived to have seen how my children has done in life. I wish that she could have known. But she don't know. I reckon she may know. She's dead and gone, and she may know. She's been dead ever since 1972. She was born in 1877, and she died in 1972. So she was well going on towards her 100 when she died. She was nearly 95. And my daddy, he died at 68 with a heart attack. And he died when I was 30. He died on Horace's birthday, the day he was 35. He was 35 the day Pa died. And it was rough because we depended on him for everything, because he was a wonderful daddy. And Ma was a wonderful mother. And she loved my children. She loved them because she raised them. She raised my children. And partly Hope raised my grandchildren because they were there with her all the time. And Charlie, he's come in and he goes and gets on my bed and sleeps with me. Charlie,
This is Charlie the cat, isn't it, Grandma?
This is Charlie.
Charlie the cat.
And Charlie, he sleeps with me, and he's pretty good. When he wants water, he drinks in the well, I can't say that.
Out of the spigot.
Out of the spigot. He drinks out of the spigot. You have to turn the spigot on. And when he wants to go out, he tells you he wants to go out. Charlie's a mess. Whenever he wants to hide from Teresa to keep him from finding him, he gets under my bed.
Tell him about what she did the other day when the Orkin man was here. You know, he came to the house, and you were lying down, and you had the door closed to your bedroom.
And she opened it.
She did.
She opened the door. She worked on it until she opened it and got in the room with it. She didn't like the man.
She did.
She wouldn't come to me. I've enjoyed Charlie too.
You have, haven't you?
I've enjoyed Charlie. I got Prissy Jane at home. She's Magdalene's cat. But I got her at home and I enjoy her. And I've enjoyed Charlie since I've been here. I don't know how Prissy Jane's fared. I suppose she's fared tough. Because I wasn't there I was not there to feed her and look at her. But I expect she got something to eat. But Magdalene's pretty crazy about feeding her. And Teresa, she has to know where Charlie is and Mac before she goes to bed at night. We went back to my home through Labor Day, and when we got back, Charlie made like he was sick or something. So Teresa was all upset. In a little while, I told her he drank water and was getting along fine, and he was all right. I declared Charlie and Max fight. Charlie slapping Mac around, made him get out of the way because he lay down. Kenny's been gone ever since Wednesday morning. Me and Teresa stayed by ourselves. Here in today's Friday. He's supposed to come home today. And so we'll have him whenever he comes. I don't know whether I'll go home Sunday or not, but Lisa said she felt assured that they'd come get me on Sunday. So I don't know, but I have enjoyed Risa and Kenny. And before their children went off to college, Ken and Kelly had to go to college. And before they left, every time they started to town or anything, they'd always come and ask me, was there anything that I wanted them to get me? They were real nice to me while they were home. And I ain't heard from them. Well, I heard from them through Teresa and Kenneth, but I ain't spoke to neither one of them. I told them to tell them hey for me when they called. But they've been gone now about 2-3 weeks.
Yes.
Kelly's been gone 3 and him 2.
That's right. That's right. And Kelly was without power because of Hurricane Fran.
Yeah, Kelly was in Raleigh, and Fran went through Raleigh. She messed up. Hugo come through Charlotte and Monroe and tore up things at Kenneth. And this last one went through Raleigh and tore up things there. They didn't have power at Raleigh the other day. I don't know whether they got it now or not.
I think Kelly finally got power back on Monday.
On Monday.
This week.
It was a terrible time. The storms went right on, and the rain and the rain and the rain up the country flooded everything. So I don't know what to tell next. I just thought about something that happened when my great grandchildren was small. No, it was my grandchildren. It was my grandchildren. Yeah. Their granddaddy, Horace, he had 8 rabbit dogs. And on Thanksgiving, he took them, all 4, the 3 boys and the girl, he took them and go rabbit hunting with them. And they expected that. They enjoyed doing rabbit hunting. And one time, I remember this is about Tom and Wilson though. It was at Christmas, and Tom went to a shooting match. And Wilson went with him, and Horace was going to town. And when we got back home, Ma told us that Wilson had come back with Tom to the house to get more shell. Said that there was a man trying to say that he didn't win the turkey. And Tom was a little boy. There weren't no grandchildren at that time. Tom was, he wasn't but about 10 years old. And so Wilson took him and went back with him. And they had to shoot again, and Tom got the turkey. And so after me and Horace got back, here come Wilson, riding Tom in the back of the truck with the turkey. He had the turkey, got him. He wasn't about 10. He had learned to shoot when he was little. He could really shoot at that time. And we had turkey. Ma got the water hot. Right then, she wanted hot water, and he cut his head off, and we picked him. He was a big old turkey gobbler. I well remember that's what we had for Christmas dinner, was that turkey. And they come a lot of times along. I used to plow, and I had an old mule, and her name was Pet. And I was just a child when Pa brought her home, and he said, now, if you will work and help me pay for this mule, when I'm done with her, she's yours. Well, she finished raising me and had my young'uns about raised before she died. And I thought more of that old mule than a little bit. And Horace, he was plowing to the back route with the side shears, the side and the back route. I was busting in the middle. And he was doing it with a tractor, and it made that center hard. And so I decided that I wouldn't let my old mule pull it so hard. And so I let up on the plow so that it wouldn't go so deep in the dirt. And he made me so mad. I thought when he come back, the old mule could walk right along with it. I had it light, and she could walk right along. And I was getting right on up there close to him. And he come back to see what I was doing. And I thought he'd brag on me for doing so much. And he said, I swear, if that don't look like a nigger job, I've never seen one that made me so mad. I could have killed him. I tell him, my old mule wasn't going to pull out them hard ridges. And she died on Easter. I well remember her dying. Horace said what he hated worse than anything else was putting her in a hole because she was scared of a ditch. She was scared to death of a ditch. And Kenny, when he was little, his daddy and his granddaddy had him pull drags to the back or to the back of barn with a tractor. And it was hot, and he was always sick. His head hurt. And his granddaddy said one day, he said, we're killing that young'un, making him sit out there. And he went and bought him an umbrella and put on a tractor. And that umbrella's at the house as far as I know now. That was when he was a little boy. And he's 48 now. He's 48, Tom's 58, and there's the phone. Cut it off. I can prove to the world by telling the truth that my family is good to me. Mildred comes once a week and takes me out when she's able to drive. And Magdalene, she's my daughter-in-law, and she buys my medicine, she buys my groceries, she buys my clothes, and she takes me to the doctor. And Teresa's my granddaughter-in-law, and she has did that for the last 6.5 weeks. And I don't know how much longer. And when Michael comes home, he takes me out to eat, and Kenneth and Teresa goes home, they take me out to eat. And Tom and Magdalene takes me out to eat. Now, I depend on Lisa and Barry more than I do any of the rest because they live across the road from me. But then they take me out once a week anyhow. And they ride me around on Sunday, and they always call me and ask me, am I going with them? And I enjoy it. They're real good to me. But I have got a wonderful bunch of children. The Lord has blessed me on every hand because my in-laws is just as good as my own grandchildren is and children. I've got a wonderful bunch of children and in-laws. And everybody don't have it. I have neighbor women who tell me their children don't pay them no attention, but mine does. And my Mike and Kenneth is old, so they always send me a check, but I think it's Teresa and Betty that does it. I think they're the ones that sends it. And Lisa, her and Barry, they give me money along, but they buy me house coats and dresses and gowns and stuff like that. They're bad for buying stuff for me. They're right there, and they buy a lot of stuff for me. They're good to me as they can be. They live just across the road there, and they're closer to me than Kenneth and Teresa and Betty and Mike is. But I'm going to miss being here with Kenneth and Teresa. I want to go home, but I told them I got so close to them I was going to worry about them more than I ever have because I want to see them more than I have. But I ain't been with them very much in the last. How many years have you lived here?
Let's see. Is it 19, I believe?
About 19 years. They lived next door to me, and then they moved away. And I have been to see them, and I've stayed with them overnight and stayed 1 week with them. And I have been here this time 6.5 weeks. But that ain't like living right next door to me. So I know now staying so long that I sure am going to miss them. And Teresa just took over where Magdalene left off when I left Magdalene and come here. And she's done the same thing, so she knows what it is to have to look after me. They have to dip my food and fix it for me. My eyes is about gone, and I make a mess. And they clean up after me. They ain't found no fault. If they have, they did it to themselves. They ain't to me.
No, we haven't.
And they got such a sweet, loving home. And that's what counts so much. My children's homes are sweet and nice. Lisa and Barry's got a sweet, nice home. My grandchildren, they are so sweet. And I know that Mike has because he's got a sweet wife. And I know that he's got a good home. And he's got 3 beautiful children. But there's poor little Christopher and Zachary. I don't know. They are long-headed. I don't know what's going to become of them. Kenny says he believes they'll get better older they get. Christopher's about 8 or 9 years old, ain't he?
Yes, I think so.
And Zach, he'll be 4 the 7th of December. Maybe so they'll get better older they get, but they're a mess now. But I love them. I love my children. I can't get down on my knees to pray, but I can lie down and pray and sit down and pray for them. I sit out here, even when nobody was around, I prayed for my family, and I'm so thankful of my family. But I have neighbor women to tell me that their children don't pay them no attention, but I can't say that. I worry about the ones that's sick. I worry about Mildred. She's not in good health at all, and I worry about her because I'm afraid something will happen to her. I drive in the car and so, and I told her she was here this week, and I saw her, and I told her for her not to try to go to my house after I got home unless she knew she could drive there all right and back. She she's not in good health at all, and I can't help worrying about her. And I got a good church to go